The reproduction system, or genital system, is a system of sex organs within an organism which work together for the purpose of sexual reproduction. Many non-living substances such as fluids and hormones are also important accessories to the reproduction system. In this video, you are going to learn more about the reproduction system of males and females. First, let's talk about the difference between sexual and asexual reproduction. So, you may ask, what is sexual and asexual reproduction? Let's talk about sexual reproduction first. Sexual reproduction needs two parents. Each parent produces sex cells called gametes. Male gametes are called the sperm and female gametes are called the eggs. Each gamete contains half the number of chromosomes that a body cell has. At fertilization, a male and female gamete fuse or join together. The new cell contains the full number of chromosomes. Half of its genes come from the father and half come from the mother. The genetic material from both parents has combined to form a unique individual. Only complex animals can reproduce sexually. Sexual reproduction also takes more time than asexual reproduction. Let's move on to asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction only needs one parent. All the offspring are genetically identical to each other and their parent. They are called the clones. Only lower organisms can perform asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction also takes less time. So these are the differences between asexual and sexual reproduction. Now we will introduce the male reproductive system.
The scrotum is a luge pouch-like sac of skin that hangs behind and below the penis. It contains testes, also called testicles, as well as many nerves of blood vessels. The scrotum acts as the climate control system of the testes. The testes are the most essential organ of the male reproductive system. They are the glands where sperm are produced. These testes contain the scrotum and are composed of dense connective tissue containing around 300 internal compartments called lobules. The epididymis is a long coiled tube that rests in the backside of each testicles. It transports and stores sperm cells that are produced in the testes. The bulbourethral glands, also called the cold-power glands, are these pea-sized structures located in the sides of the urethra just below the prostate glands. The vas deferens is a long muscular tube that travels from the epididymis to the pendic cavity, just behind the bladder. The vas deferens transports mature sperm to the urethra, the tube that carries urine or sperm outside of the body. The ejaculatory duct is formed by the fusion of the vas deferens and inside the seminal ventricles. The ejaculatory ducts empty into the urethra. The seminal vesicles are cells-like pouches that attach to the vas deferens near the base of the bladder. The seminal vesicles produce a sugar-rich fluid that provides the sperm with a source of energy to help them move. The urethra is a tube that carries urine from the bladder to outside of the body. In male, it is also the additional function of the ejaculatory semen when the male reaches orgasm. The penis is a male organ used in sexual intercourse. The body of the penis is cylindrical shaped and it consists of 3 circular shaped chambers. These chambers are made out of special sponge-like tissue. This tissue contains thousands of large spaces that fills the blood when the male is sexually aroused. The prostate gland is a walnut-shaped structure that is located below the urinary bladder in front of the rectum. The prostate gland contributes additional fluid to the ejaculate.
Now we will talk about the female reproductive system.
This is an elastic muscular canal that connects the cervix to the outside of the woman's body. It is the tube that receives the male organ during its sexual intercourse. During menstruation, it is the same tube through which the blood flows out. The cervix is a ring of muscles located at the lower third portion of the uterus. It forms a barrier between the uterus and the vagina. Until birth, the baby is held in place by the cervix. During birth, the cervix is bent and the baby passes through it.
Undeveloped egg cells are stored here. After puberty, the female will release an egg each month. Unused egg cells are released out of the body during menstruation. The ovida, also called the fallopian tube or egg tube, is a vessel connected to the uterus for the egg to travel to the uterus.
Also, the Latin word for womb is a bag shaped like an inverted pear, held in place by ligaments and muscles. It has very soft lining which holds the fertilized egg and nurtures it until it is fully developed into a baby.
The sperm cell is released in the female organ. The cells make their own way through the top of the vagina, cervix, and into the uterus, but they do not stay here. They continue their journey into the fallopian tube and travel upward. If there is an ovum released, the egg cells and the sperm cell will meet. There are a million of sperm cells, but only one sperm cell that is able to break through the egg membrane and fertilize the egg cells. The egg nucleus meets the sperm nucleus and fertilization occurs. Once one sperm cell has fertilized the egg, no other sperm can get in. A new life begins and the female is pregnant now. The fertilized egg cells become a zygote. The zygote possesses half of the DNA of each of its two parents. The zygote then divides itself to a very tiny small ball called an embryo. The embryo continues downward and finds itself a comfortable place in the uterus. There, the embryo grows into a fetus.
Respiratory system changes. The respiratory rate rises to compensate for increased maternal oxygen consumption, which is needed for the man of the uterus, the placenta, and the fetus. There will be increased respiratory rate, increased minute ventilation, increased tidal volume, and decreased functional capacity. The pregnant woman may also feel out of breath. Breast changes. Breast might become larger and more tender because of the increased level of hormones. As the due date approaches, hormone changes will cause pregnant women's breasts to get even bigger to prepare for breastfeeding. Nipples may stick out more. By the third trimester, colostrum, a yellow watery pre-milk, may leak out from the nipples. Urinary system changes. The expanding uterus puts pressure on the bladder, urethra, and pelvic floor muscles, which leads to temporary bladder control problems like frequent urination and even leaking of urine when sneezing, coughing, or laughing. The kidney must work extra hard excreting the mother's and the fetus waste product.